Hi everyone, welcome to the lesson. In our previous lessons, we discussed extensively I Will Marry When I Want by Ngugi Thiongo and Ngugi Mirii. We discussed the plot of the play extensively. We have discussed that, and we discussed the themes as well, and then we discussed the characters in the play as well. Today, we are going to be looking at the symbols in the play. We have several symbols, and we are going to be looking at them one after another. And the number one symbol we are going to be looking at today is marriage. In fact, from the title of the play, I Will Marry When I Want, signifies that there is a seemingly pressure on somebody to get married, and the person's opinion or decision is she will marry when she wants to marry. She will not succumb to pressure either from parent, from society, or from any man. And then in the play, we saw that Gatoni, who is the daughter of Kikunda and Wangeshi, was being pressured a bit by the mother to get married. And then we saw that Gatoni said, I think from page 37, that she will marry when she wants, and then she have freedom to choose who to marry, and nobody will force any man on her. And we saw that Gatoni had a relationship with John Muhumi, the son of Ahab Kois and Jezebel. And unfortunately, the relationship did not materialize into marriage. Though Gatoni was concerned, Gatoni's parents, that is Wangesi and Gituda, also were concerned that the relationship did not lead to marriage. But it ended in a way that it does not go down well with Gatoni and does not go down well with her parents. So the image of marriage there symbolizes the will of parents versus the will of a daughter. And eventually we saw that the will of daughter succeeded in a way that she does not succumb to the parent pressure. Though she wanted to marry John Muhumi, but that does not materialize. Then the second symbol, which is also dominant in the play, is that of bedbugs. What does bedbugs symbolize in the play? I will say that bedbug symbolizes exploitation and at the same time exploiters. Bedbugs suck human blood, especially when it is on bed. It will suck human blood, and then it does not have any mutual return to human. Rather, it gives sickness. So we saw that people like Ahab Kois, Samuel Undijire, and the host of the foreigners were like bedbugs. They exploit the poor. They do not give much money to the poor. They pay the poor low wages. People like Gikamba, people like Kikunda, and several other people working in their farms and in their factories were being paid low wages. So they were like bedbugs. They exploit everybody that is below their level. So they that are of the elite level, the elite political class, they relate to one another good, but they took the poor as lesser human beings. And that was why several times we see Gigamba calling them bedbugs. So another symbol in the play is that of gun and sword. You can see that in the play, gun versus sword. Who uses sword? It is Gikunda. Who uses gun? It is Ahab Koik and the husband and the wife Jezebel. So gun certainly will oppress the sword, because somebody fighting with a sword and somebody fighting with gun, they cannot work together. And it also symbolizes the clash, the struggle, the fight between the poor and the rich. Why the rich uses gun to shoot and kill the poor, symbolically, the poor also use sword to struggle, to respond, or to fight back. But unfortunately, can sword withstand gun? The answer is no. So the sword shows the weakness of the poor, while the gun shows the strength of the rich. So why Gikunda was trying to stab Ahab Koik, we saw that the wife, Jezebel, came and then they shot Kikunda. But luckily, Kikunda did not die. Then we have another team, the team of wedding, who wedded in the play. There are several weddings in the play, but the one we are going to be focusing on is the wedding between Wangechi and Gikunda. Though Wangechi and Gikunda have married for years in their traditional way, but Ahab Koiks advises them to marry in a Christian way. In fact, Ahab he believes that Wangechi and Gikunda did not marry. They are living as sins because the traditional marriage system is not recognized by the church. So they believe that, okay, when they get married, they can relate to them. But unfortunately, Kikunda did not accept the marriage proposal or the marriage suggestion by Ahab. But later, just because he wanted his daughter Gatoni to marry John, he decided that, okay, let them do the Christian marriage and then they may be accepted among the fold, and Ahab Koik and Jezebel will accept Gatoni to marry John. But unfortunately, you know what happened? The marriage did not take place. The marriage between Gatoni and John did not take place. So we saw that Gikunda spent a lot of money, spent all he has. He took a loan from the bank, using the deed of his 1.5 acres as collateral, and then he spent the money on wedding. So it also shows the satisfaction and blessing given by the society to the couple. So in the play, we see the concept of second marriage between Gikunda and Wangechi, which they initially refused but later accept the demand. So we see that the acceptance of the second wedding shows the weakness of traditional custom and norms in confronting the encroaching Christianity. So this symbolizes the acceptance of neo-colonialism in African society. So, and even in this modern day today, in fact, in some of the African countries, it is almost a taboo if you do not do a Christian wedding. So you have to do a Christian wedding, traditional wedding, and probably statutory wedding, which is called court wedding. So you could see a couple or a man and a woman who want to marry have to budget a lot, because for single marriage, you have to do 3 weddings. Why? Because we have accepted neo-colonialism. Someone once said that, okay, the church wedding is the traditional wedding of the white. And then we do our own traditional wedding in Africa, and then we do the traditional wedding of the white, because the church wedding or the Christian wedding, there is no any form of such marriage in the Bible. In fact, the only marriage that happened in the Bible that Jesus attended was the marriage in Cana of Galilee, which was a traditional marriage in the tradition of the Jews. So let's move on. We have trumpet. Now, trumpet also symbolizes awakening. It symbolizes realization. It symbolizes understanding by the poor. Now, the people began to get awake, realize that the problem they are having is the political elite. It is not poverty, because the poverty was invented as a result of bad governance and mismanagement and exploitation. So the trumpet that Kikunda, Wangechi, Gikamba, and some other village began to blow to awaken the mind and the consciousness of the poor, so that they could come together and revolt and bring a form of revolution against the elite. So it symbolizes awakening against oppression, against exploitation, against humiliation, against dispossession. So it is a form of fight for justice and freedom. Now, another one we see in the play is that of land. In fact, land is very vital symbol and image in the play, because most of the things that have revolved around land, we saw that Ahab Koik was more concerned about taking the land of Kikunda. He wants to build a factory there, and Kikunda refused. Then marriage, Christian marriage, or the concept of second marriage now become a way or a route for Ahab Koik to take the land that belongs to Kikunda and his family. And you know that is the only thing that Kikunda had. He does not have any other thing that is a means of livelihood or a means of income. So the land symbolizes the economy and the livelihood of the people. So we see that especially in the traditional society in post-colonial Kenya, land is very essential, and dispossessing anybody of his or her land means dispossessing the person any means of livelihood. So we saw that the land was taken away, the money, the loan was used for marriage, and then Kikunda and Wangechi became helpless and frustrated and depressed. And then what happened between them was fight. Kikunda began to beat Wangechi several times. So these are some of the major symbols in the play. And in the subsequent lesson, we are going to be discussing the literary devices used in the play. Very, very soon, we will going to do that also. And so make sure you subscribe so that you will get notified when that is uploaded very soon, probably today or next. Thank you.